Next is from Kevin Gilroy, and subject is Meltzer versus Triple H. Dave Meltzer has been going after Triple H for avoiding a very important question at the Royal Rumble post-show media scrum. Yet we all know that Meltzer defended Tony Khan for dodging the Jericho. Because the company owner, you have to play it safe around these kind of issues, false as they may be, unquote. So my question for you guys is what's up with Meltzer having such a hard Triple H right now? Triple H not answering those questions is a smart legal move to do. Those dirt sheet guys in the scrum should have known better than to ask Triple H. John Alba has to be the dumbest man on earth today. Is he really thought he was going to get the answer to his question? Konnan, what do you think? Yeah, basically Triple H, he didn't want to, when they asked him about Vince McMahon, he said, I want to focus, we had a very positive week and stuff. But my question is I would like to ask Dave Meltzer, what would you have said?
Right.
It's very easy to criticize the guy and say, let's say, okay, in your opinion, what should have been his answer to the question?
Okay. I have a question.
Go ahead.
First of all, who's John Alba?
That's the guy that does the thing with Eric.
Yeah, he's been a wrestling reporter. He does strictly business with Eric Bischoff.
Who? And so he was the one that asked the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I've seen he really dragged what's this guy's name? Triple H over this. Now, is it true that I don't remember what he said, so you remind me. So is it true that who was the guy that was a Jericho thing or something like that, and he kind of glossed over it or something like that?
When Nick Hausman brought up the Jericho stuff, he kind of I mean,
but this guy's saying in this letter that Dave defended Tony on something else. What was it?
Said you got to be real touchy around issues like this, basically. Kind of like the same. It's a similar question, kind of a legal issue, and then he kind of
okay. So let me just say this. You got to take a lot of things into account. Number one, legally, maybe he can't talk, which is probably so. Okay. Number two, this is his father-in-law. Okay, right. and fucking that's their grandfather too of his kids. Right. So you turn on your grandfather, your father-in-law. That's not easy. That's your family.
Right.
You're married to the wife of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a very touchy subject. He handled it like he should. And you make a great point. Let's see if anybody posts this. What would he have said?
Right. Yeah. But that's the question. What do you think the response should have been? You're talking about if it was your father-in-law.
Right.
Right. And Vince
grandkids and you're married to his wife. Yeah.
And Vince stepped down and stepped away. It's like, what is supposed to say? Well, we want to drag him back in the conversation. The guy's having a legal issue. I'm not going to comment on it because they're allegations. I mean, he could have said that.
Right.
But it's like you said, I'm not going to comment on this.
And we will let the jurisprudence rule on this. Bomb.
Right.
Boom. You're done.
And I don't agree that, because I've seen some people say this, even about, the Jericho questions at AEW's press conference and now the Vince questions at WWE. Well, they shouldn't be asking those questions. And I've been on Chris's side, so it has nothing to do with that. But if they're supposed to be journalists and we already these pressers for being all fluff and garbage, no, someone has to be there to ask the hard-hitting questions, whether or not they're going to get an answer. You have to ask. If you're a journalist, you ask.
There's nothing wrong with answering the question, but what did you expect the guy to say?
Right.
Like drag him, Vince is a terrible person. These are horrible. Like, come on, it's like, give me a break.
Yeah.
But for your own credibility, ask.
Right, you have to ask, and then you're going to get the answer, which is what he got. You're not going to get an answer until we hear more facts.
Yep.